Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's Tiffany of Clarity, Confidence, Courage. I am a life coach for divorced, heart centered, empathic women. And on this channel, I'm going to discuss themes related to how to heal and thrive in order to move forward after a divorce. In this video, I want to discuss what shadow work is, why you need to be doing it, and how to do it as you move forward on your healing journey after your divorce. So, what is shadow work? The concept of shadow work was coined by world renowned psychiatrist Carl Jung. His theory was that as humans, we all have different psychological parts to ourselves. And one of those parts is the shadow self. The shadow self is a part that you believe is negative or that you perceive as a bad trait. It's a part of you. It's the part of you that you don't want to acknowledge, or you have feelings of shame or guilt, and you try to reject it from yourself. For example, jealousy may be a part of your shadow self. Anger, rage, or resentment may be a part of your shadow self. Other forms of the shadow could be around concepts that you were told as a child was bad. So, for example, sex. If you were told as a child that all things dealing with sex was bad or shameful or wrong, then your shadow might be all your repressed sexuality or your repressed sexual desires. So the idea is anything that you felt you had to suppress or squash down or was told was bad could be a part of your shadow self. This could include childhood trauma. The thing about the shadow self, it is a part of you and it should not be repressed. Think of it this way. Let's say, you cut your hand. Your hand is a part of your body. Now you can put a towel over the hand, even though it's bleeding, even though it's hurting, even though it's in pain, and you can just not look at it and say, nope, I'm not going to look at it. Let's not talk about that hand. But guess what? The hand is still bleeding and it's still in pain and it's still there and it is still a part of you. Your hand, in this example, is your shadow self. Now, let's discuss some of the reasons it's important to acknowledge your shadow. Just like I gave in that example of the bleeding hand, your shadow is a part of you. And when you try to ignore or suppress any parts of you as an individual, it will not feel good. It's going to cause you a lot of pain because you are not allowing yourself to live as your full identity, as your full self of who you really are. Ignoring your shadow can result in dysfunctional, maladaptive behavior patterns such as avoidance, withdrawal, and passive aggressive personality. It can also result in addiction such as alcohol addiction, drug addiction, sex addiction, possibly shopping addiction or eating addiction. It can result in eating disorders. You can also have emotional issues such as deep sadness, rage, anger, anxiety, or depression. It can cause you to have a lot of self sabotaging behaviors and a lot of negative beliefs about yourself. It can also result in physical illness or physical pain on your body. And unfortunately, it can also result in suicidal thoughts or self inflicted injury to you. The effects of repressing your shadow self will come out in one way or another unless you're willing to do shadow work. Now, there are a number of ways to do shadow work, but here are just a few steps that you can use to help you get started. Number one, get a shadow work journal. I have a shadow work journal. Trust me, it is so powerful. You can use your shadow work journal to talk about and reflect on the repressed emotions that you don't always like to acknowledge or that you feel like you've had to suppress or reject. If you don't know what to journal about, start with negative emotion. Now, I know that sounds counterintuitive, but that is the whole concept of doing shadow work. For example, a few prompts that you can start with are, what are you angry about? Or what are you sad about? Or what pisses you off? What are you enraged about? What were you told as a child that was bad or that you're not supposed to talk about? Maybe make a list of things that you were told as a child was bad and that you couldn't talk about. And then go through every list and question it. Why couldn't you talk about this? What was going to happen if you talked about it? Like, really dig into the shadow of what you couldn't discuss when you were a child. The idea of the shadow journal is to really explore the parts of you that you really don't want to talk about. And you can also write about your triggers. What are your triggers? What's triggering you right now in this moment? What's triggering you at your job? What's triggering you in your family? And really explore the reasons why. Why is this triggering you? If you explode at the cashier at Starbucks, Was it really something she did, or was it something that reminded you of something that happened to you in your childhood? So, really take the opportunity to explore all the not so nice parts that you may or may not want to talk about while in your shadow work journal. Number two, be willing to talk to a therapist or coach to help you through the process of the shadow work and really help to process your emotions. If you've been taught since childhood to close up and to really not express yourself, then you may need some support to help you pull out those emotions. You may not even know the words to say around how you feel because you were never given permission to emote, to express. So, having someone to guide you as you go through that process is so critical, especially if you have gone through childhood trauma. And I highly recommend that you literally Google search emotion words or feeling words and really print it out a page or two about feeling words and post it on a wall somewhere where you work so that every day as you journal, you can actually pick a word from the emotional word section to express how you feel. Do you feel anger? Do you feel rage? Do you feel euphoria? Do you feel bliss? There are way more words in the English language other than happy, sad, or upset. So I highly suggest that you allow yourself to really talk to a therapist or a coach to help pull out your own emotions as you go through this healing process. Number three, stop shaming yourself. Start working on mentally accepting all of you without shame and understand that you have the right to own your emotions. You're a human being. And as human beings, we all have a wide range of feelings and thoughts. And guess what? That's okay. Give yourself the grace and the space to acknowledge your emotions, sit in the feelings or the thoughts, and have compassion for yourself and be gentle with yourself during this process. This may include affirming your shadow self when you have a negative thought. For example, saying to yourself, I'm not a bad person for feeling my emotions. I'm working to love and accept you, AKA the shadow. You, the shadow, or I, deserve to be acknowledged and expressed. There are so many different affirmations that you can use as you slowly work through shadow work process. But the whole point is to sit in the present moment, acknowledge how you feel, and be okay with it in that present moment. Understanding that if it's something that you don't like, you can work on to change it, but it's a part of you. So don't be ashamed for feeling your own feelings. Now, those are just three different ways that you can start to do your shadow work, but there are so many other ways. And as you continue to follow me on this channel, I'm going to continue to talk about how to help you on your healing journey, get clarity, build your confidence and your courage after going through a divorce. I hope you enjoyed today's video and was able to build up your awareness around the concept of shadow work, how it can benefit you, and how to get started. If you want to learn more on how to get started on your healing journey, be sure to go to my website. It's in my description below at www.cccwomen'sempowerment.com and download my free Mindset Detox Guide. As always, be sure to share, like, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell to be reminded of all my videos when they upload. I can't wait to have you follow me on this journey to healing, getting more clarity, building your confidence, and building your courage. As always, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.